Hello YouTube world, welcome back again to the workshop. I'm going to carry on this week with the resin theme, and what I'm going to do is use this piece of sycamore. And generally sycamore is quite a bland wood. It's quite white, it's very good for colouring because you get no sort of coloration through the wood and stuff like that. So if you want texture or colour something, sycamore is the wood to go to. As I say, I'm going to stick with the resin theme, and what I'm going to do, stick with a very patriotic, as sycamore wood turns up really white, what I'm going to intend to do is turn it down, have quite a big upstand on that side of the bowl, and I'm going to cut 2 rings in there and fill it with red and blue resin, so I'll have the red, white and blue. So first thing I need to do is get this mounted on the lathe and get it turned into the bowl shape that I want. So I want quite a steep upstand on there because I'm going to cut 2 grooves in there, and I want them to be very prominent, because obviously if I've cut that back at a more of a slant like that, you'll be able to see them from the inside but you won't be able to see them from the outside. So I'm just going to take a clean up cut across there, sharpen my chisel up. I've sanded that down to 400. It's lovely, incredibly smooth, that wood. You can see quite a shine on there already, and I haven't put anything on there yet. So what I'm going to do is apply some sand and sealer. And that will give me a nice surface for my tape to stick to. What I'm going to do now is just cut 2 lines in there. Yep. Not quite wide, and I want it quite deep. Come another one in there. What I'm going to do now, take that up and pour some resin in there. So as you can see here, I'm just going to apply some tape. This is farmer's tape. It's like really wide insulating tape. It does grip really well. It's quite good stuff. You can see the problem I'm having with it here is, as I'm pulling it tight, it wants to go down into the grooves, which would take away quite a thickness of what I'm trying to achieve. I have used this, it's about the 4th time I've used this farmer's tape with varying degrees of success. Would I recommend it for using with resin? I don't think I would. I don't think the success rate has been that good actually. It does seem that sometimes a resin will get underneath the tape and it will just lift the adhesion away. So I don't know if there's something I'm doing wrong, or but there must be other ways of doing it I need to explore. So what I've done now, I've put it all the way around. I'm just pushing it down, make sure it's stuck all the way around so it's nice and secure, and then I'm going to cut some pieces of tape and put them across the other way. Here I'm just cutting a small hole in there, just give me somewhere to pour the resin into. So last thing I want to do with this is just use a hot glue gun just to make a little reservoir in there. So what I want to do is just build that up so that when I pour the resin in it won't run over the sides, and I'll have a little bit left in there and just pour that in. So these are the colours I'm using today. They're Glass Cast's own make shimmer. There the E. This one is blue, and although that one looks quite pinky, it does come out a lovely red. So that's the two colours I'll be using today. As with the rest of them, a little bit does go a very long way. Right. So that's the first red. Let's go for the first pour. And we just need to very gently pour that in because I don't want any air bubbles trapped in the bottom there. Just let it all gently run down to the bottom. I'll get back to you when I've done. I think this is going to take quite a long time. So there we have both lots. I poured both in. The blue's gone in there and the red's gone in there. And what was quite satisfying was every now and again it's taken me absolutely ages to pour that in there. But every now and again that would fill up and all of a sudden I'll get a pop where the air bubbles are coming up to the top, which is quite good. The other thing is slight concern at the moment is I've used up more blue than I have red. Now I don't know if that's because that's slightly higher up, that's bigger circumference. I would have used more. What I'm hoping is that blue's not leached across into the red at some point. Although I've got tiny little bits left in the cup. And what I'll do is I'll give that a couple of hours and I'll come back down and see if these are sunk at all. So what I'll do is I'll come down a couple of hours and whatever's left in the cups I'll scrape in there and just it'll still be running enough to pour in there. And then we'll leave it a couple of days and see what it looks like. So here we go, YouTube world. This is a bowl. This is all the resin has been poured. It's about a week later since I last filmed anything. It's not gone very smoothly, I have to say. This did after my first pour. All the resin ran out all over the table. I'm glad I left a piece of wood underneath, or else it would have been all over my lathe. And I ended up topping it up about 3 times in the end before I could get it to hold properly. But we got there eventually. It's off. See what we got. That is exactly what I was hoping for. That looks really good. Right, so I'll get this mounted on the lathe and clear all the rest of that tape off and the resin and see what we've got underneath. So what I'm going to do is just get a scraper, go around and take all this excess off and just see what we've got left underneath. Because I think I'm still going to have to patch some of that. That's very low there and that's very low in there. Let's get all that off and have a look, see what we got. Altogether that's pretty good. There's a few little bits I need to go back and refill. There's a bit in there. I'll do something with that. But this unfortunately is the worst piece. That blue's leached right across into the red all the way around there. I don't know how deep that blue is. I've been through on there, I just patched up. There's a couple of little air bubbles in there I've just patched up. As I'm still working on the resin, I'll just use a scraper. So this is a bowl that's all sanded right down to 1200, I think I sanded it down to. I haven't put anything on that wood yet. There's a fantastic shine on there. Sycamore might be quite a bland wood, but I'll tell you, you won't find a piece of wood that sands up softer or smoother than that. So we'll put some sand sealer on there. Bring that out even nicer. Shine on that. Can always leave that like that without putting any wax on there. There it is, lovely. That's such a shame that a bit of blue's leached into there. Right, let's turn that red, hollow it out. I'm just continuing here to hollow the bowl on down through. I was hoping to have that blue and red band show up on the inside of the bowl, but I think I ended up taking so much off where I had air bubbles and there were some slight depressions in the top. I took so much of it away on the outside. I don't think it's thick enough or deep enough now to go to the inside of the bowl, which is unfortunate. I would have liked to have had that right the way through. I just got to keep on coming down now and taking the sides of the wall away as I'm working my way down through. Otherwise, where that's unsupported, that will flex away from my tool. So you have to make sure that the outside is finished as you go down through to the bottom. I'm just going through with a scraper now along the bottom there, just trying to get a nice flat bottom and just try and get a really nice transition between the side walls and the base of the bowl. So there it was all sanded down to 400, and now we're just going to apply some sand and sealer. YouTube world, here we go again. Another finished product. I guess this really was more of a experiment using that farmer's tape. And would I use it again? Probably not. Not for resin. It didn't hold that well. Wasn't that? It's about the fourth time I've used it. Varying degrees of success. I've had more failures than successes, to be honest. Unfortunately, that leaked, and there, and that blue, you can see that blue seep through into that blue. It was a shame really, because on that side where we got the real definition of red and blue, that does look really nice. And I have to say that Sycamore has turned up beautiful, lovely shine on there. It's so soft to touch, just like a piece of glass. It really is. Maybe I ought to email Shane and see what I'm doing wrong, because he swears by that farmer's tape. So I'm quite pleased with that. As I said, it's a shame this leaked through there, but overall I think that is a really nice piece. I think when I stand it on the side, I'll stand it that way round. Well, thank you all very much for watching. As usual, I've been Steve Howell, and as always, I've had great fun down here today. That has really been a trial, shall we say, but I am quite pleased with the finished result. So, as I say, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all again next week. You take care of yourself. Bye bye.